All right. So what we've got so far is we've got a bad guy, we've got a crosshair, we've got it to where we have a score. If you hit the bad guy, you get a point. If you miss the bad guy, you lose 5 points or whatever we decide to change it to. Um, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add in a timer. If it's kind of funny. In real life, not everyone, but I've noticed this. Most people tend to avoid things that stress you out. You don't like things that stress you out. Your brain tends to be like, oh, tests, boo, I hate them. You have to learn to be like, hey, it's okay, brain. It's just a test. You have to talk to your brain to convince it otherwise. People avoid things that stress them out in real life, but then a lot of people find video games that stress them out. If you don't believe me, go watch your friends play a game, and are they smiling? Are they all like, oh, I'm so happy? Or when you watch them play a game, a lot of times if you really watch, they look stressed. They're like gripping the controller tight, right? They're like hunched over and they're breathing a little hard. Their heart's racing. Sometimes they get real mad. They throw things, they yell and scream and get so mad. They say, I hate this game, it's so stupid. Why is it that we seek video games out that make us stressed? I don't have a good answer to that. But what I do know is that if you have a video game that doesn't have a little bit of that stress factor to it, it's just not the same. It's not true of all video games. There are some video games that are very chill, very just like, hey, it's a walking simulator. I'm just going to walk around a video game, whatever. But like I said, most games you play, they stress you out. There's something about them that makes you be like, oh, I got to beat the timer. There's a ticking time bomb. We're going to add that element of stress to our game. We're going to do it in one of the oldest ways possible, which is a timer. People get stressed out when they see a timer. There's like, oh gosh, I got to beat the timer. So we're going to add a timer to our game, and what we're going to do is we're going to set up our game to where every second the timer ticks down. If you run out of time, the game is over. But we'll also make it to where if you can do something that we want the user to do, maybe we'll give you some bonus time. So let's add this element in. So we're going to go to our bad guy code. Now, one thing that we're going to have to change here, it's just the way this is going to work until we find something better, is in our bad guy code, not in our crosshair, in our bad guy. This down here where it says, hey, when the green flag is clicked, hide the bad guy, wait 1 second, and then forever keep doing the same thing. Wait 2 seconds, go to a random place, show yourself. And then, boop, wait 2 seconds, go to a random place, show yourself. We're going to change this 2 seconds to 1 second. If you don't do this, the timer is going to get messed up. I'm sure there's a more clever way to do what we're about to do, but I'm just trying to keep things very simple. Now, when we play the game and we change that to 1 second, the guy's going to be there for 1 second and then he moves. Now, if you notice, that makes it go a lot faster. It makes the game more difficult. I like that. I don't think it's a bug. I think it's a good thing. But now he's moving fast, right? Come on, press the stop button. I always go crazy when I see the thing moving around. I'm like, I can't concentrate. I gotta stop him. Okay. Make sure you change wait to 1 second. If you don't, the timer that we're about to make is going to be messed up. We're going to keep this code in the bad guy. We're going to go to make variable. So I'm down here in variables. We're going to make a new variable, and we're going to be real clever with the name of this variable. We're going to name it time remaining. Good name, right? Because it's going to be how much time the player has left. We're going to say for all sprites, and I don't know if I've ever said this before, don't click this cloud variable thing. You don't need to click that. It's okay. Click OK. All right. Now I have a new variable. We have score, and we have time remaining. Now, when we make a variable in Scratch will almost always just be like, great, whatever your variable is, it starts off as 0. We have to tell Scratch what we want it to initially be if we ever want it to be anything other than 0. And then we also have to tell Scratch what to do with it. So we're going to say, hey, when the green flag is clicked, we can even say before you hide, we're going to set, so it's time remaining, not score, time remaining. We're going to set time remaining to 0. And move this code out of the way. So when the green flag is clicked, inside the bad guy code, the very first thing you're going to do is say time remaining, whatever it is, make it 0. If you don't add that there, you'll see later you have to have that there. Otherwise, if we play the game and time remaining is some weird number and we press the stop button and then we click the green flag again, it'll go back. Now, actually, we don't want time remaining to be 0. Now I think about it, if we do that, the game's going to start with no time. How silly of I. Let's say time remaining. Let's start off with 30 seconds. All right, we're going to say set time remaining to 30 seconds. If I click the green flag, starts off as 30. Now, if you notice, nothing happens to time remaining because we didn't tell Scratch what to do with this variable. So down here, so we said green flag, set time remaining to 30, hide the little bad guy, wait 1 second, and then forever, wait a second, go to random place, show yourself. We're going to add a piece of code down here in this forever loop. Now we changed this to 1 second because we're going to say, we're going to change, not set, we're going to change the variable of time remaining, and we're going to -1. We're going to take 1 away from time remaining. We can put it right there, right below wait 1 second. So, so when I press the green flag, time remaining is 30 seconds. Oh, and now look, 28, 27, 20. So every time the robot moves, time remaining goes down by 1. And that's 1 for 1 second, right? Oh, I don't like this timer. It's already starting to make me stressed out. Okay, so now, okay, I can still shoot the robot and pew, pew, pew. Okay, oh, I think I barely hit him there. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now time remaining has gone negative. I have -4 seconds left in the game. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, we made a variable called time remaining. We told Scratch how to take 1 second away, or what, just 1 away every second. But we didn't tell Scratch what to do when the time got to 0. Once again, Scratch doesn't actually know what time remaining means. We have to tell Scratch what to do if we get to 0. So we are going, I guess we can just leave this here in the bad guy code. Our bad guy code is getting a little long. We can add to this. I mean, I guess we can add it to the crosshair. Let's add it to the crosshair. I could add it. So some code you have to put it in a certain sprite. Some code you're like, it doesn't really matter where it goes. Let's put it in the crosshair, just because the crosshair has less code in it. So we're going to say, hey, crosshair code. You don't have that much stuff. We're going to add something to you. I'm going to say when the green flag is clicked, you set your score to 0. And then forever, just follow the mouse around. Okay, that's it. We're going to add a condition. We're going to tell Scratch, hey, if, so this is going to go inside our forever loop, because we want Scratch to always be checking. Just every millisecond, just, hey, is this happening? Is this happening? So inside the forever loop, underneath so don't put this inside the mouse pointer. You don't want that. You want it right below that, right? So this dinosaur is eating this dinosaur, and it's not inside there. We're going to say if, we'll go to our variables, and we'll say time remaining. Now what we want is Scratch to be checking. Is time remaining equal to 0? So we need this in operators, we need this guy right here. This green guy that says blank equals 50. We're going to drag him over. We're going to change this. We're going to take our time remaining and we're going to drag it into that first little section there. Doesn't technically matter, but we'll just keep it there. If time remaining equals, we don't want 50. We want to say, hey, if time remaining equals 0, right? Because that means you ran out of time. That's it. The game, 0 seconds. There's no more seconds. We're going to say if this whole thing now, if time remaining equals 0, then, well, we're going to tell Scratch what to do, right? If this is true, if time remaining gets down to 0, then you're going to do something, Scratch. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go into control and say, actually, before we do that, let's go to looks. We're going to say, not hello, say hello for 2 seconds. So we're going to say game over for 2 seconds. So we're going to tell Scratch, hey, tell us the game's over, man. That's it. Finito. No mas. And then after that, we're going to go to control and we're going to say stop all. Okay. This code is starting to get complex, isn't it? I'm going to drag this out. So we have if time remaining equals 0, Then say game over for 2 seconds and stop everything. That all goes right there inside the forever loop. The mouse, go-to mouse pointer goes right above that. Okay, if I click the green flag, let's see what happens. Okay, timer starts going. 28, 27. Okay, I can shoot the robot. Okay, 25, 24. Okay, -1. Uh-oh, that's no good. Okay, 21. Okay, so we're just kind of boring waiting for the timer here. I guess what I could have done is I could have changed the time remaining to like 3 seconds just so this would go faster, but that's okay. It gives us an idea, a chance to test our game, make sure everything's working. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Game over. Now our robot's still moving. Oh, there. Okay, our robot stopped. Okay, so when time remaining gets to 0, if you notice time remaining went to -2, right? You'd be like, okay, we got to 0, and then it said game over. Well, what's weird about that is we said, hey, say game over for 2 seconds and then stop everything. So Scratch technically got to -2, and then it said, okay, now it's time to say game over, right? That's a tiny little bug in our game. We can fix that, or we can be like, good enough for now. We can go back and clean that up later. I'm going to say good enough for now. Normally, I'd be a perfectionist and waste another 20 minutes trying to fix that little weird thing, but whatever. We're just going to say it's good enough for this moment. Okay. Now we got a timer. Now I think in the next video, what we'll do is we'll make it to where this will be very simple. We can say, hey, add on a little bit of bonus time if you shoot the robot. So we'll do that next in the next video.